I'd love to start with these.
10 years of work right there.
Facebook just hit refresh and rebranded as Meta.
To improve Meta AI across all of your products, but also as a standalone chatbot. Why should we use Meta over ChatGPT?
And they're all in on the idea that the Metaverse is our future. Not everyone's pumped about them charging into this virtual world that's been around for ages though. But here's the twist. Mark Zuckerberg's saying the Metaverse isn't just Meta's next big thing. It's the next level of the internet itself. Sounds wild.
Why do you think that's happening?
I mean, there's a lot going on to unpack.
Let's dive in and see what this all really means. Mark Zuckerberg, the big boss of Meta, you might remember it as Facebook, just laid out his epic vision for where he sees the metaverse going. And trust me, it's wild. So, here's the scoop. Facebook, the platform from way back in 2004, rebranded as Meta, and since then, it's been all about building this next level digital universe. Around 100,000 Meta employees are working non-stop on crafting a new digital world where, in Zuckerberg's words, we're going to get all new ways to work, play, and even live. Sounds like sci-fi, right? Well, it kinda is. And that's exactly what Zuckerberg loves. In a recent chat on the Tim Ferriss Show podcast, Zuckerberg got into the nitty-gritty about his futuristic ideas. He sees the metaverse evolving into the supercharged economy, where people can jump into experiences that challenge their minds, spark creativity, or even get them moving. It's not just about playing around. Entire communities will spring up in the metaverse, with endless chances to make a living, build connections, and create sustainable little worlds within this massive virtual space. He's even inspired by his favorite sci-fi books, which have totally shaped his ideas around AR, augmented reality, and VR, virtual reality. One of his big dreams? Giving people the superpower to be in more than one place at once. Zuckerberg told Ferriss that being able to virtually pop into different spaces, whether it's across town or across the globe, is going to be huge. For instance, he's based in Hawaii, but with VR he can be anywhere, all without moving an inch. You don't need to be stuck in a sci-fi nightmare to appreciate this tech. It's about connecting with people or opportunities no matter where you're physically sitting. Pretty next level, right? And for those out there who think companies like Meta are getting a little too obsessed with the digital realm, yeah, Zuckerberg's not fazed. He's full steam ahead on building the metaverse and doesn't seem too concerned about the naysayers. Facebook's throwing big bucks at virtual reality. They splashed out a cool $2 billion on Oculus, the company behind the iconic VR headsets. And back in 2019, they rolled out something called Facebook Horizon, an exclusive virtual hangout where you can show up as a fun cartoon avatar and chat it up with friends through an Oculus headset. Imagine stepping into this animated world all just by popping on some VR goggles. Now, Zuckerberg's totally aware that today's VR headsets can feel like wearing a toaster on your face. He admits that they're still kinda clunky and it's not exactly comfy for long hours. But here's the thing. His vision for the metaverse goes way beyond just VR. According to him, this metaverse playground won't be locked into one gadget. You'll be able to jump in from pretty much any device, whether it's VR, augmented reality, AR, a PC, mobile, or even your gaming console. It's like the ultimate digital upgrade, a new age internet where different worlds connect and you can virtually meet with anyone, anywhere. The whole idea of a metaverse, it's been a tech obsession for ages, and it actually started back in 1992 in Snow Crash, a sci-fi novel by Neal Stephenson. This book introduced the idea of a virtual reality-powered internet, and ever since, tech companies have been fired up about turning this vision into a reality. They've even started adding bits of the metaverse into mega popular games like Animal Crossing, Fortnite, and Roblox. And we're not just talking about playing games. These games are now hosting massive live events like concerts and epic tournaments, where millions of players log in from all over the world to experience it together. Zuckerberg's all about making the metaverse way more real. We're talking every detail, from making eye contact with someone in VR to nailing those little hand movements. It's like he's trying to make digital hangouts feel just as genuine as meeting in person. And here's what's wild. VR has come a long way. Back in the day, you'd have to physically be hooked up to a computer just to jump into a virtual world, but now, VR sets are powered by microchips. That means more freedom, less fuss. But there's still one big snag: motion sickness. For some, VR still feels a bit like being on a bumpy roller coaster. But the Meta team is hard at work trying to crack the code and smooth things out for everyone. But here's where it gets really interesting. Zuckerberg thinks the metaverse is going to totally change how people work and live. Imagine a world where you're not tied down by where you live. New tech will make it possible for people to virtually be anywhere, creating all kinds of wild opportunities. The idea? You could show up in a virtual office in New York while chilling on the beach in Hawaii. This shift could open doors to all sorts of social, economic, and governance innovations, reshaping the way we think about work and connection. Meta's taking this whole experience seriously too. They're encouraging employees to actually use the metaverse tools they're creating. This hands-on approach means they're constantly tweaking, testing, and improving, creating a super quick feedback loop. If something's off, they know it right away and can fix it just as fast. One of Meta's core values is all about speed. Move fast. They're all about building and learning at lightning speed, aiming to stay ahead in the tech game. But they've got a balance going. On one hand, it's full speed ahead, but on the other, they're focused on building things that are actually going to last. Meta recently added "build awesome things" to its list of values. The metaverse is a prime example. It's a project that fires Zuckerberg up, and he believes it'll be something people actually need down the line. At Meta, you get the best of both worlds for meetings. Meet in person if you want, or jump into VR for a more immersive experience. No more endless conference calls. Just pop into a virtual space and suddenly you're feeling like you're right there in the room. Meta's making a huge bet on Horizon, their social playground, workspace, and adventure zone, all rolled into one for the metaverse. Think of Horizon as a wild mix of The Sims, Minecraft, and Roblox, but way more immersive. You're in a virtual world where your avatar mingles, builds, and explores alongside others, and it's totally interactive. Best part? You're in charge of your own universe. Right now, Horizon is only available on Meta's Quest VR headset, but Meta's got big plans to make it more accessible. Soon, you'll be able to jump into Horizon straight from your mobile, or even the web, making it easier than ever to hang out with friends, attend virtual meetings, or just get lost in a world of your own making. Now, as exciting as it sounds, Horizon isn't without its quirks. First up, the avatars could use a bit of a style upgrade. They can look a tad awkward and not as expressive as we'd like. Then there's the occasional and sometimes downright weird encounter with random strangers. And let's be real, having a headset weighing down on your face can get uncomfortable after a while. But these are growing pains in the bigger picture. For Zuckerberg, Horizon is just the launch pad for what he envisions as the real future of the metaverse. His ultimate goal? Meta's aiming for what Zuckerberg calls the holy grail of devices. Super lightweight augmented reality AR glasses that don't just pull you into a digital world but actually blend it seamlessly with your everyday surroundings. Imagine looking around your room and seeing a digital pet lounging by your chair, or having your calendar pop up right in front of you on your morning walk. It's like leveling up reality itself. These AR glasses would be a game changer, taking the digital world and layering it over everything you see and do in real life without the need for a clunky VR headset. But here's where things get even more interesting. Meta's not the only player with an eye on AR supremacy. Apple is on the horizon with its own AR headset in the works. We're talking about a full-on face-off between Meta and Apple, two of the world's biggest tech giants, each pouring their resources and innovation into what they believe will become the next major computing platform. Both companies see these AR devices as the future, something that can be as revolutionary as the smartphone was back in the day. It's a high-stakes race to see who can release the first device that makes digital interaction as easy as putting on a pair of glasses. So, can Meta hold on to its lead in the VR headset race, especially with Apple eyeing the space? With Apple's rep for privacy and hardware expertise, things could get intense. The stakes are sky high, and the company that nails it could redefine digital interaction for years to come. We're at the dawn of a new digital era, watching two tech giants gear up to change our world forever. The Metaverse is where the virtual party's happening, and Facebook is making sure it grabs a front row seat. Are you Team Meta or Team Apple in the battle for VR dominance? Let us know in the comments. And if you're as curious about the future of the internet as we are, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a beat.